On today's episode of the DeRaud-Messinger Show, we're talking about the prospect of Quinn Ewers returning to Longhorns in 2024, and we're making our Texas high school football playoff round 2 picks. Longhorns fans and high school football fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated, as well as checking us out at HornSports.com for all the latest. And we're also, of course, very present on Twitter, which we might get into in a future video, Dylan. Just about already the jarring this week. But all that being said, Quinn Ewers is the storyline to talk about tonight. The sophomore quarterback, Dylan, who's maybe not really a sophomore quarterback, redshirt sophomore quarterback, but Texas likes to list him as a sophomore, so we'll do that. He may be returning, reports are saying, first reported by Bobby Burton of Inside Texas. He may be returning in 2024, which, of course, for the unspoken word of the quarterback room plan, is a big shakeup, Dylan. Before this announcement, it seemed, myself included, like everyone was expecting Quinn to declare for the NFL draft in the spring and have either Arch Manning or Malik Murphy be the guy in 2024. With this news, it looks like Quinn Ewers is considering the prospect yet again. We don't have any definite answers even from the reports, but is considering the prospects of staying. But even the consideration, Dylan, is news. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're starting to see the effect that NIL has because with Ewers, I can't remember what grade he's been getting, but with his kind of arm talent and what they've talked about, he could very well, if a team believes in him enough in the NFL, go in the first round. For him to pass up on that opportunity, come back, means A, he likes the 40 acres and likes being a Longhorn, obviously. But B, that NIL money is very competitive with what he'd be making coming out of college and going to the NFL. So financially, it makes sense. But with what you're saying, with people kind of talking about like Arch Manning's timeline and stuff, it does shake that up. But I'd almost say it doesn't affect it too much because it almost felt like Malik Murphy was going to be the guy after Ewers, and then he'd have a year, and then Arch Manning. So I just don't think the trajectory is on there for Arch, but I think Malik Murphy is more likely the candidate for a transfer, Devon. I don't know if you agree with that, though.
Yeah, no. All the points you brought up are good points. Quinn Ewers, the thing about his NFL draft stock, as you said, Dylan, someone, I wouldn't be shocked if someone wanted to take a flyer on him because of his arm talent. However, the injury history lately has caught up to him a little bit. Maybe this consideration is just the fact that he wants to stay in school another year, Dylan. Make that NIL money. He's still going to be making something. The NFL contract, if he was highly drafted, still would likely beat that
It's going to
money.
be one of the highest that you can get, honestly, with just the location and being in the SEC. Like, he's going to be making a ton of money.
Well, he'll be making a lot of money at Texas. I still think, though, if he were a first round pick, I think he would make more at the NFL. But I am leading this in to say the injury concerns, some lack of consistency. I think that if
Yeah.
he were to consider staying, it would be to help strengthen that draft stock. And as you said, he's going to be making money at UT regardless if he chooses to stay. So it's not like he's leaving and there's nothing to be had there. He's going to be able to put some food on the table, Dylan, not only for him, but all the UT students if he
And
wanted to do so.
he can still increase his stock too, because there's nothing better than being a quarterback in the SEC and still performing well. Because that's been the knock with Caleb Williams, is that he is really good against lesser talented teams, and then he plays like Oregon and really struggles in those levels of games, which has defenses more similar to that of the NFL. You're going to get that in the SEC when you're having to face Alabama, like he's had, but Georgia and teams like that. So that talent level is going to be pretty similar. So it's almost an investment in his part. Plus, you finish out and get your degree here too. So I think it makes sense. I don't think it was too surprising when the news came. Let me preface it. I think it was surprising because you didn't really hear these rumblings, and all of a sudden, before the game against Iowa State, you're hearing that he's thinking about staying, right? So I think the timing was surprising, but ultimately, I think it makes sense in that regard.
No, I agree. While I said I was surprised, the act shouldn't be surprising. Like, it's not totally out of the blue, of course.
Yeah,
Just how the trajectory of the season has gone, him being injured again for a little bit. Yet again, not a substantial amount of time, but I'm sure he's still wanting to show something to the NFL guys. And Dylan, I put on my notes. I mean,
uh oh,
Ewers was born to be a Longhorns quarterback, and I said it earlier, I'm at least happy that he's considering a return.
I can
And I put
imagine.
dot 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 for both him and myself. I mean, let's be honest. But Dylan, I mean, I don't know. I like to think in the shoes of other people sometimes. Quinn
Mm.
Ewers, yet again, was born a Texas fan, and it would almost be a shame if he had left so early after, finally landing at his dream location. You do want to see him live out his dreams. Now, with that being said, another question to pose, Dylan, is will the 2024 Longhorns team even be better than the 2023 football team? I mean, my
Mm.
early consideration answer would be no. Texas is likely to lose some of their star talent on that
But
defensive
to say
line.
that, I think they're going to be losing Jatavian Sanders as well
Would
at
likely
tight end,
be
and then
losing Sanders. I think Worthy at this point is
Adonai
free to
Mitchell,
go.
I think, is a candidate
Adonai
as well.
Mitchell, Byron Murphy, Tavondre Sweat. Like Texas will be losing a lot of
Yeah.
talent. As Dylan mentioned, he would be going to the SEC where he could show that he is, the real deal. However,
Yeah.
it won't be an easy run. Of course, no football Dylan is an easy run, but it's not going to be like he's just going to be free firing over there. There is some real work that needs to be done for next season. But like I said, the consideration that he's even tempted to stay, because we have no news on this and likely we won't have news on this until the spring. The news that he is considering to stay is good news. Now, Dylan, we like we like some phrases to throw out, some little word play that you like.
The
One
wordplay.
in the hand is worth two in the bush. That is what I am proposing here. That's something to consider. Quinn Ewers is a quarterback, Dylan, where you know what he can do for this team on the field. The two in the bush, of course, Murphy got his chance for 2 games, and you can't fault him on not being the greatest quarterback in those 2 games. Those are his two first games starting as the
Yeah.
quarterback in a tough environment, both ways. I know the BYU game wasn't too hectic by any means. However, the Kansas State game was a ranked opponent. Murphy, yet again, not a lot of experience there, so I can't fault him for that. But he's still an unknown commodity, even with that experience. And then Arch Manning, as you said, is also still in the mix. However, I agree with you. I didn't really touch on it earlier. I do agree. I think Murphy is the bigger question mark in terms of what would happen next season. Arch Manning, Dylan, he gives me more of the vibes of. Now, this is not disrespect because Mac Jones was great in college football, but someone
Yeah.
like Mac Jones who does have the time, he can afford to sit on the bench a little bit and learn and acclimate himself to that environment. And then once he's ready to go, you don't have to toss him in there per se. He's ready and fired
Yeah.
up and knows the system. Arch Manning, yet again, we'll see if he elect to leave, but I think a big reason he came to UT was he liked both the college and the city, and it's still relatively early in his career. He's likely going to redshirt this season, Dylan, and still will be a redshirt freshman next year. So Murphy
Mm.
would be, uh, wouldn't be a shocker if he left. However, he has been, you know, so loyal at this point in his career, but I would not fault him if he wanted to get the top job somewhere else.
Well, at that point, it just lines up too much in his sense because I know Sark had made the comments that he respects that he's waited this long for his opportunity, but at this point, if the opportunity really isn't there till next, I guess in this case, like 2 years, it doesn't really make sense for him if he's trying to have NFL aspirations to kind of wait that long before going to a team that he would be able to start instantly.
It
So as much as we've talked about how admirable it was, at a certain point, it has to become a logical decision. Now, I can't speak on behalf of him, but I think that's I think it's there's a little bit more pressure in that regard for him to maybe make a switch at that point.
Oh, definitely. It's really on his own conscious as to whether he thinks he can be a starting quarterback at the college
Yeah.
level, or sometimes you have to make sacrifices in terms of I really love the Longhorns and UT. If I'm gonna want to play for them, I'm gonna have to not be the
Yeah.
starting quarterback. And as we've seen this season, sometimes even being the backup plays a little bit more important of a role as you would think it would, Dylan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for head coaches that have to plan all that out. But it is
Well,
interesting. I don't think you should hit the arch panic button. I know a lot of news outlets are trying to circulate some unnecessary scare right now. Of course, it's something to talk about. It would be kind of dumb to avoid that. conversation, Dylan. However, let's not panic just yet. Let's let things play out before we get there. Now, Dylan, in terms of panicking, we got round 2 picks of the Texas high school football playoffs. The panic here is we had one game to pick last weekend, and we have to apologize to Lake Travis.
No, I thought we said we weren't going to do this.
No, you said you weren't going to have to do this. I'm apologizing. Lake Travis, I have a family member on the team, a cousin on the team. I picked against y'all. Now, let's be fair. It wasn't the prettiest of all games, but, it doesn't matter. Winning doesn't have to be pretty. They beat Vandegrift, which is a huge upset. So that's my apology. This video, we have a lot more picks to come. Dylan, I won't even let you apologize unless you want to.
I was gonna say no comments.
No comment at this time.
That's the stance I'm going. Yes.
I'll just air it out that Dylan was also wrong. Now,
the first game to my lawyers.
The first game of the round 2 picks, of course, all ranked matchups, and we're going lightning round style here for all of them. 6A, number 16, San Antonio Reagan versus number 3, Westlake. I have Westlake.
Yeah, I got Westlake in this one too. Next one, we got 5A D1, number 8, Forney, against number 6, Frisco Lone Star. Devon, Forney's got that one loss against Longview. They've looked good all season. I'm going with Forney in this one.
Ooh, impressive. I'm going against that. I have Lone Star. Next game we have features my preseason pick, 5AD2, number 10, Melissa, which is where the conflict comes in, versus number 4, South Oak Cliff. And I ride with South Oak Cliff usually, but I don't want to pick against my preseason pick, so I am going Melissa.
Devin, this would be the time to hedge your bets. I think with South Oak Cliff, they have the formula to win. You saw it with Lovejoy against Melissa when they whomped them. They've got the skill players on the outside that Melissa doesn't. I will be going with South Oak Cliff in this one.
Next game
next one.
Go for it.
You want me to go or you want to go?
Just take it.
All right, we got 4A D1, number 7, China Spring, at number 2, Anna. Devin, Anna was my sleeper pick going into this one, but I always ride my China Spring boys. I'm going with China Spring.
I'm also having China Spring. I think they're a little underrated right now just because of a few losses, and I think they're going to make it up. Next game we have 4A D1, number 9, Bay City versus number 3, Kilgore. I have Kilgore.
I have Kilgore as well. Next one we have 4A D2, number 8, Hampshire Fanet against number 4, Cuero. Devin, Cuero's going to be looking to stay undefeated in this one. I got Cuero.
I have Cuero for Jordan Whittington's sake. Next game we have 2AD2, number 10, Sunray versus number 3, New Home. Dylan, are you in the housing market? Are you needing a new home?
Oh, no.
I've got New Home.
I knew this was coming. Yeah, Devin, and in that New Home, they got a great defense. I will be going with New Home at this one. So we have 1AD1, number 7, Happy. Against number 2, Knox City. I got Knox City in this one.
This might not make the people at home happy, but I also have Knox City.
We're doing this. Okay.
The next game we have 1AD1, number 10, Union Hill versus number 3, Abbott. I have Abbott.
I got Abbott as well. Next one we have 1AD1, number 9, Borden County. Against number 6, Whiteface. Devin, I might look white, but I'm going with Borden County.
Oh gosh, when you do puns, it's not as good. Okay, we're going Borden County. Oh boy, we have to erase that from my memory. 1AD2, number 7, Newcastle. Dear Lord, versus number 1, Benjamin. Why you gotta do this? We got Benjamin here. Good luck.
I have Benjamin as well. With our last one, as we're dying, 1AD2, number 8, Withdrawal against number 5, Klondike. Hopefully this brings us back. Devin, I will not be choosing the Klondike bar. I'll be going with Withdrawal.
Can't believe you're going against the Klondike bar. I have Klondike. More importantly than Dylan's nonsense, what do you think of the Ewers news? And which game will you be looking forward to most in high school? Let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out at HornSports.com. And as always, have a great rest of your day.